Robert Saleh has been fired as the head coach of the Jets for whatever reason, probably Aaron Rodgers. And now that he's been fired, let's take a look at who some of the candidates to be the next head coach of the Jets could be, even though it just might be some random dude Aaron Rodgers chooses off the street. I think every single head coaching list this offseason is going to have Bill Belichick as a candidate on it. Obviously, he's won a bunch of Super Bowls. He's a great coach. He's a little bit up there in age. And I think that he's someone who likes to dominate what's going on, kind of like how Aaron Rodgers does. And they might butt heads a bunch. But if you want someone who's a proven winner, there's nobody better on the market right now than Bill Belichick. And I think he at least deserves a mention, although I'm not sure the Jets' job is the job for him. Next, getting in some offensive minds, Ben Johnson is going to be a guy that's on pretty much every team's list, going to be the first call for almost everyone this offseason, and for good reason. He's a fantastic coach, and I think he'd be a fantastic play caller and really help that Jets offense improve. I do think it's an issue that he's a little younger than Aaron Rodgers, which a lot of these offensive minds that could become head coaches are, which is an issue. But Ben Johnson would be a huge, huge get for the Jets, and I think that he should be their top candidate that they prioritize. Kind of following in the same vein as Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick, the Texans offensive coordinator, is a little younger, a little bit less experienced, but I think he would be a fantastic head coach for the Jets, really get that offense going. Obviously, he did it with C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Granted, they have a lot of talent, but the Jets have a lot of talent there too, and I think he'd be a good man for the job as well. Another guy worth mentioning is Joe Brady, the Bills offensive coordinator. Obviously, he's most known for his role on the LSU team that won the national championship with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and all of them. And I think that he'd be a fantastic head coach someday. I don't know if the Jets' job is the one for him to start out at. All these guys that I've been naming so far outside of Belichick, it is going to be tough to deal with Aaron Rodgers in your first head coaching job. But I think that these three that I've named are great candidates to do so and really help improve the offense. Joe Brady might be a little too inexperienced still at this point, but I think he's going to be a head coach in the NFL sooner rather than later. If you want someone with experience, Mike Vrabel, the former Titans head coach who's now an assistant for the Browns, would be a fantastic candidate. The only issue with him is he's more defensive-minded. Obviously, he played linebacker in the NFL, and also they played a really run-heavy offense during his time in Tennessee, which Aaron Rodgers might not like. Again, it all leads back to Aaron Rodgers, but Mike Vrabel is a fantastic, fantastic football coach, and I think that he is maybe the most qualified guy that would be a really good hire for the Jets. I think that this might be the guy they actually end up on just because of the fact that Ben Johnson's going to have his pick of teams. Bill Belichick might not want to go to the Jets, and I think Mike Vrabel is probably the third best candidate on that list, and he would make a lot of sense for them, despite being a defensive mind. One last guy to mention is Jeff Ulbrich, their current defensive coordinator and interim head coach. He's done a fantastic job with the defense, although I don't know how much of that defensive success is attributed to Robert Saleh. But if the defense continues to play well, I think he'll be a candidate for sure, especially if he does well during his time as the interim coach. If they go on a run in the playoffs this season and make the playoffs, he's going to get that job without a doubt. It's just going to be a big if that happens. What do you guys think? Are there any other guys you think should be considered for the Jets head coaching job? Let me know in the comments.